here's what we're going to talk about today, okay? We've talked before in depth about a fee that people have when they're purchasing a house called closing costs. It's literally cost to close the loan, close the house, close the deal. But there are these items that have always been around, but you see now are popping up, and I think interest rates have been the cause of this. I believe I'll say that.
Yes.
Because interest rates have risen.
Yes.
But there's this thing now that we see people asking for, here's today's real estate word of the day, discount points.
Yes.
Okay? So they say, we'll give a certain amount for the house, but we would like for the seller to pay a certain amount of dollars in discount points.
Yes.
Now, let's you and I have a conversation about discount points, which is today's real estate word of the day.
Right.
Tell the people, what is discount points?
Well, they're basically like, some consider them mortgage points.
Sure.
Okay? So basically, it's where it's a fee that's due to the mortgage company.
Sure.
Basically, at closing. So
Right.
when you go to buy your house, you don't pay them up front. You buy them. You get them
Sure.
when you buy your house.
Absolutely.
They're basically a fee that you pay that buys your interest rate down.
Right.
So that's basically discount points in a nutshell.
Sure.
But have a conversation with a lender, they can explain a whole lot more detail
Oh, yeah.
about discount
I seen
points.
John Fleming on here, Luke Wagner on here. I didn't really see any others, but those two can explain it big
But
time.
to me, this is things that right now, okay, because again, we don't sugarcoat stuff.
No.
We just say it like it is. This is basically things right now that is making it, and that have always been there, but it's a big incentive right now for people to keep buying houses.
No doubt.
So, because
No
a lot
doubt.
of times you hear, we hear this stuff daily because it's what we do. But people are like, I don't think I should sell my house right now because interest rates are too high. I would like to sell my house,
Sure.
but I ain't paying 6.5% interest.
I got you.
You don't have to.
No.
You don't
No.
have to. You can use the money because house prices are still up.
Absolutely.
You're still going to make top dollar for your house.
Yes.
You can take some of that equity and use it to buy these discount points to buy your interest rate down to whatever you want.
Sure. Sure.
So have a conversation. Don't think because the interest rates are 6.5% or whatever they are today. I have no clue.
Sure.
That there's no sense in me even trying to sell my house. I would love to buy this house over here.
Right.
I don't want to sell my house because I ain't paying 6.5% interest.
I got a couple things to say about that. One, discount points is unique to every individual. It's just like it's credit. It's unique to you. So you do need to have a conversation with some of these people who are on here today. John Fleming, one of them. Luke Wagner, one of them. They can explain this stuff good to you. We've got multiple people who can explain this stuff good to you. But I always, you spark something here for me. Okay, and I got to talk about this. Like, it's on my heart.
Try with ice cream?
No. This is about these interest rates. Okay, you really got me here that I want to talk about this, and I really think this is where we're doing a good job of putting this service out to these people and even telling them about this. Mm-hmm. But discount points is something you should talk to these people. Again, Luke just put on here discount points. Be happy to answer your questions. He's great. Be great to do it. But I always find this interest rate thing that everybody is hung up on right now. Now, I agree it's more than it was last year, 2 years ago. I got it. But I find that a lot of people that's complaining about those rates right now, okay, me included, okay, has got credit card debt. Now, hold on, I'm going to get in trouble, but I got to say,
I know.
And we're paying 25% on it. And we are totally okay. Knowing already the debt's there, and we're going right now to the store and buying us some chocolate ice cream on that credit card, and we're totally okay paying 28%.
It'll take you 26
You
years
will never pay it off.
to pay for that ice cream, yeah.
But we had this person that we spoke to a week or so ago, and they made a very good point with this. Because of inflation in our economy right now and in the whole entire world, okay, interest rates have played a role in all those things.
True.
Specifically, more than mortgage rates was to credit card rates.
Credit cards, car loans.
So you look at it and you say, there's literally, you can have conversations with people like Luke and people like John and people like those other ones that get on here with us. And those people can literally show you how you could sell your house, take the equity that you have, use discount points, take money from the proceeds you made, pay off the 25% rate cards,
right,
and save yourself hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month.
Right, because I mean, just honestly, some people's got $20,000+ in credit card debt.
Sure.
And they're paying a house payment.
Absolutely.
On credit card debts that they're never going to get paid off.
Never, man.
So you could take the sale of your house, take some of that money, pay those credit cards off.
Right.
You've lost this big old payment over here.
I'm with you.
Yes, your house payment over here might be a little bit higher.
Sure.
But you just lost all of this debt over here.
And 25% of that debt was interest.
Right.
So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Our word of the day is discount points. We're talking about discount points and how they can affect you, and all those things happen. But these are things that real people need to have these real conversations. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's arguments all over the board about a lot of things. And I'm not here to get political and debatable and all that stuff. But I want to tell you factual information and knowledge. That's what we try to give here on this show. And when you start looking at those situations, those things together, there's a lot of times, man, we see people come out the backside of these 7% interest rates, and they come out so much better.
Right.
Because they get with a pro, and the pro says, this is what you need to do. Now, I'm not a pro in interest rates. Those guys, we've said their names a bunch. That stuff's happening. Let those people talk with you. You can come right here to this big air-conditioned, comfortable place, sit down and have a conversation with these pros. They'll gladly walk you through the process. Okay, our rented a homeowner program. These are the people that's going to help you get that. That's what I was going to
ask you about. So, like Sandy Watkins said, how can you help someone that has lower than a 600 credit score? What's our program?
The rented a homeowner program.
There you go. So we do have programs.
Yes,
Sandy, that we
help people with like that.
So again, we've got a ton.
But it's a conversation
that helps with credit repair. That helps, and all these things are usually free services.
Absolutely.
So again, it's a conversation. Send a message to our page. Tell us you want more information about that.
Yeah.
We would be happy to sit down if you want to sit down over the phone. However you want to do that, have this conversation for you, because like we said, it might have been last week before last.
There's a great question.
You have to have a path.
Right.
Okay. So you can get past a 600 credit score. You got to have a path.
We got a great question on here, okay? I love when y'all ask this question, especially when we're talking about this kind of stuff. But Shantae says, I think I'm saying that right. Shantae says, would it benefit to lose a 3.5% interest rate to refinance? We've paid 9 years of the 30-year mortgage. Now, here is why this is a great question.
Great, yes.
This is a great question. Is because Shantae and anybody else watching, this is what happens most of the time. If I tell you, and I only compare this to 3.5% interest rate you have now versus the 6.5% to 7.5% you can go get, it's a no-brainer. No, Lord, no.
Right.
No. It's not smart to do that. But I don't know the rest of the story.
Right.
You see, there's more to this story than just your mortgage rate, okay?
So many times that's
where I was going.
We focus on this number,
right? And people look at one thing, and what you got to kind of start looking at is, and this is why we say real estate is one of the greatest ways to build wealth in the history of mankind, is because you literally have to look at your financial situation, because there's more to the story.
Right.
Your mortgage and your interest rate on that mortgage makes up a part of your financial situation.
Right.
However, there are maybe for most people, there are other debts. Mm-hmm. That's where, if that's something you're considering, Shantae, you need to we can get you in contact with the right people to let them look at your whole financial portfolio. Because there's people that have a portfolio, and you say, well, I ain't got a portfolio. If you got a house and a car, you got a portfolio. If you got debt, you got a portfolio. If you own, you got a portfolio. Those are things that you need to sit down with somebody and let them look at your whole portfolio, because the question goes, if we pay 3.5 or 7.5, you better pay the 3.5. But if you got that 25% over there, if you got a 25% credit card, if you got other debt, you might be able to do some things that makes it make sense for you to, the answer to your question be yes.
Right.
You need to do that. Would you agree with that?
So she said we only owe on a mortgage and a vehicle. We want to pay our home off ASAP.
Sure.
My husband and I's credit score are both 808 and 818.
Sure.
So again, it's
Luke,
John, somebody can comment on this right here and say, but again, it's one of those things that you have to sit down.
You really need to look at it
with
all.
someone and say, this is scenarios.
Yes.
And then you pick the scenario.
Yes.
It don't cost you a dime
No.
to have those conversations with people to see, would this be smarter for me?
Exactly.
Would this be smarter for me? Because I do know these two people right here in particular. Again, we've got a lot of these people, these mortgage people that we talk to and deal with. But I do know these two here in particular for sure. If it's not a smart move for you, they're going to tell you this is not a smart move.
Don't do it.
It's not worth. Luke even made the comment up here earlier. Melissa Moats is here.
There's Melissa. Yep.
She's another mortgage person. They will tell you if your situation, if it makes sense for you in your situation to refinance.
Right.
They're not just going to tell you, oh yeah, refinance.
Right. I'm 100%. Yeah. They can give you that information more than we can because again, it's your financial situation and it's more than just that. So no doubt about it, they can get that. But that's a great question, Shantae. It is a great question. Getting back to what we were in here.
But I'm going to say one thing here real quick because I see we got a lot of people going a rent to own program. It's not. We don't have a rent to own program.
No.
Okay. We're trying to turn people from renters
to homeowners.
Into homeowners.
Yes.
So you're going from a renter to a homeowner.
Yes.
So again, you might even say, well, I'm not even renting right now. I'm staying with a friend, whatever. It don't matter. We can get you in these programs that can help you to become a homeowner.
That's
what we're trying to do.
You got to start somewhere.
You do.
And most people don't know where to start, so that's why we have a renter to homeowner program. It's not rent to own. It's you going from a renter to a homeowner. We've been able to help hundreds, if not thousands, of people with that program. You agree?
Yes. I saw one more question here a minute ago. Kim Harmon said, with the housing market being high, how do you buy a house with equity in it to get points to lower the interest rate? It's not necessarily that you're buying a house that has a lot of equity in it.
Sure.
It's that your house that you currently own
has that.
You have all the equity in your current house.
Yes.
So when you sell, you're going to have more money, cash on hand, that you can turn around when you buy your new house to buy those points.
Whether it would be the points, whether it would be a lot of different things with that. So good question, though. Really good question. Here's what we're going to do. Great info, great talking, great questions from you guys. Shantae says, thank you guys so much. Shantae, thank you. That's great questions. That's why we come here live and do this. In addition to doing this, we have a lot of fun. We give away some stuff. That's what we're doing today. I want to make sure everybody that's on right now knows what's happening. We're literally probably 10 to 15 minutes away, probably closer to 10 than to 15, to giving away right now a $100 gift card. What do you got to do to be entered into the drawing for the $100 gift card that'll be drawn live right here on the show today? On the right-hand side of your screen, you see how to enter. Like the video, share the video, invite and tag five of your friends to the video. You can always invite or tag more than five. Once you do those things, literally comment in the box, I'm watching from. Tell us where you're watching from and let us know. Once you do that, your name is entered into the drawing. Now listen, we're about 10 to 15 minutes away. You must be watching at the time of drawing to be able to claim your prize. If we draw your name and you ain't here, somebody else is going to win.
I want to say this too about, because I see a lot of people, I saw a 5-something credit score. We've heard the under 6. Again, so many times we focus on a number.
Yes.
But let's talk about a number for a minute. So I'm not, and I would say that each and every person that's watching here today would say that we know enough about credit to make us dangerous.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not a credit expert. There's a good chance that you that are watching are not credit experts either.
Right.
But there is people who are credit experts. They know how to deal with these things. I've dealt with people in the past. Pretty much every realtor you'll talk to has these stories where you've seen people they've called you, they're interested in buying a house, their credit score is not where it needs to be. but they simply have a phone call with a person who knows about credit.
Yes.
And I've seen their scores jump 30, 40 plus points in a week to 2 weeks time because they took the advice, done the things. Yeah. And a lot of times it's not even that you're having to spend money because people can obviously say, well, you got $30,000 in credit card debt, go pay that off. That's going to shoot your score up.
Sure.
It's not even that they're telling you to do these big crazy things.
No.
It's just that sometimes it's phone calls.
Sure.
Phone calls, hey, I need you to remove this from my credit report.
Right.
That's going to change your score. So again, don't focus on what your score is. If you want to buy a house, call us.
Sure.
It's that easy. It don't cost you nothing.
Nothing.
It don't cost you nothing. It's going to take a little bit of your time.
Right.
But if you want to buy a house, if you're serious about buying a house, quit focusing on the score.
Absolutely.
Say, put us on a path.
Give me a path. Get us on the path.
Tell me what I have to do.
Because
that's going to look different for each and every person that's watching, that ever will watch, that ever is considering buying a house.
Sure.
That your path is going to be different than anybody else's.
No doubt.
So don't focus on your score.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Costs.
We get asked the question a lot of times. What kind of score do I got to have? It's different. It's different. Like there's these minimum things, but it's all your financial situation. Okay, you got to have those conversations. Got to have those conversations.